Top of the morning to you and welcome to Joy News Desk. I'm Noella Karanyali. Coming up this morning, we weigh in on the proposed extension of the presidential term from 4 years to 5 years. We bring you more views on the ongoing debate. Also in this bulletin, cocoa farms in Galamsey West under siege as illegal mining takes over productive farmland.
Ghana, a nation renowned for its green.
Also, the Ghana Statistical Service raises alarm as it says over 60% of men in northeast and savannah regions consume alcohol excessively. We'll bring you details pretty shortly. And the Mental Health Authority of Ghana is also raising alarm over the number of street children battling mental health disorders. And we'll bring you that detail shortly right here on Joy News Desk. Stay with us. Many thanks for your company. And the Mental Health Authority of Ghana is raising alarm over the rising number of street children battling mental health disorders. According to the authority, over 70% of children living on the street suffer from mental health conditions, putting their lives at serious risk. Now, there's more in the following report by Edna Garima.
According to the World Health Organization, an estimated 1 in 7 children and adolescents aged between 10 and 19 are affected by mental health conditions, with anxiety, depression, and behavioral disorders among the most common. Research by the National Library of Medicine in 2022 indicates that 73% of street children experience moderate to severe mental health problems, while 90% suffer from a poor quality of life. Speaking at the launch of the National Streetism Awareness Campaign for 2026, a representative of the Mental Health Authority, Simon Dogoron, expressed concern over the increasing number of children on the streets living with mental health disorders.
As the MC said, yes, I think he has made some research to know about 73% actually of streetism or street children, suffer from various forms of mental disorders, from depression, anxiety disorders, and then drug abuse and the rest. So it's a big challenge for all of us.
The executive director of the Cherish a Child Foundation, Salome Delali, called for collaborative efforts to end the growing menace of streetism.
We have the background of streetism spanning from many causes, and we know that this challenge is a multifaceted issue and cannot be solved by a single entity. The project recognizes the importance of collective dialogue, resource sharing, and community empowerment to address streetism effectively.
For victims on the streets, they shared painful experience and the harsh realities of streetism.
The street is not good though. Please, the streets, like you won't get a proper place to sleep or a food. If you get a food to eat, is Madam Salome who bring us food every Sundays and took us to church. Yesterday evening I didn't sleep. I was begging for money.
It's not nice. The street is not good for me. The place where I'm sleeping is not good.
Given the multifaceted need for addressing streetism among children, there is a need for all stakeholders to come on board to help curb the menace. For Joy News, Edna Garima's report read to you.
Away from that, illegal mining is ripping through many cocoa farmlands in Galamsey West District. Cocoa farms are giving way to mining pits, polluted water and lost livelihoods, raising urgent questions about the future of a vital national export. Nanawachi Yadam reports.
Ghana, a nation renowned for its green gold, cocoa, is grappling with an escalating crisis that threatens to cripple its economy and devastate its environment. The scourge of illegal mining has long been a canker on the landscape, but a new and alarming twist in its destructive path is now directly targeting the country's vital cocoa farms, pushing dedicated farmers to the brink. In the Ashanti region's Galamsey West district, vast forests and farmlands now bear the scars of Galamsey as illegal mining pushes deeper into the foundation of Ghana's agricultural heritage. Operators, driven by the lure of gold, are indiscriminately wiping out major portions of cocoa farms, leaving behind barren pits where lush greenery once stood. The situation has become so dire that in several instances, cocoa farmers, once pillars of Ghana's economy, are now being compelled to sell their ancestral lands to illegal miners in exchange for heavy cash. This move threatens the future of a crop that contributes significantly to the nation's GDP. The Galamsey West district, historically synonymous with robust cocoa production, is where I directly engage with farmers to witness the profound devastation firsthand. My journey took me to Mansunkran, one of the communities affected by this environmental and economic catastrophe. I met Bismarck, a cocoa farmer getting ready for harvest on his 7-acre cocoa farm. With the help of a friend, he was breaking cocoa pods, one of the most labor-intensive stages of cocoa production. They carefully chose the rib pods, split them open with a blunt machete, and pulled out the cocoa beans wrapped in white pulp, ready for fermentation and drying. Yet, as Bismarck worked, an unsettling reality loomed large. His farm, like many others surrounding him, bears the undeniable marks of Galamsey's relentless march. According to Bismarck, illegal miners are not only destroying farms, but they are forcing farmers into difficult decisions.
The Galamseyers come fully prepared, with money and influence from people in high authority. After buying land from one farmer, they mine in ways that damage neighboring farms. Eventually, those farmers are left with no option but to sell their land, often at a much lower price.
Surrounding Bismarck's farm are clear signs of intrusion. Drone shots reveal gaping pits, heaps of excavated soil, and pools of polluted water in areas that were once flourishing cocoa farms.
We used to have clean, drinkable water very close to our farms. Now all these water sources have been polluted. We transport water in gallons on tricycles to our farms, and we even have to buy drinking water every time we come to work.
Parts of Bismarck's cocoa farm have already been cut off, contributing to a noticeable decline in its cocoa production.
2 years ago, this was a cocoa farm, or part of many cocoa farms you see here. But what you see as a bare land today is as a result of the illegal mining activities that is ravaging the numerous cocoa farms in the Mansunkran community. And when I talk of illegal mining activity, it is just what you see behind me. They have eaten into this place, which used to be a cocoa farm, and they continue to invade major portions of the farms left. Behind me is a 7-acre cocoa farm. The farmers are fearing that potentially they could lose their lands to illegal miners.
Just a few kilometers away, Amos Wembele, working on his 12-acre cocoa farm, speaks about the bleak future of cocoa production in the region. Much of his farm have been destroyed, leaving only a small portion intact. Behind and within his remaining cocoa trees, illegal mining activities continue unabated.
The future of the cocoa production in this illegal mining area, it is reducing because the money that they intend to give out to the farmers, it looks somehow, according to some, it's okay for them. So even as here, the whole community was full of cocoa farms. But as I talk to you, it has reduced drastically. So because many are giving out, that when will you cultivate cocoa and then harvest cocoa, then get 1 billion. So many have decided to give out their lands.
The lure of quick cash is proving irresistible for many farmers who already struggle with low returns from cocoa. The impact extends beyond cocoa. Other forms of vegetation farming have also been affected, accelerating the collapse of the farming community. Opinion Kofi Eje, a cocoa farmer of 20 years, was drying cocoa beans after harvest. He tells me that in communities like Tuntokrom and Datano, many farmers have already handed over their lands to illegal miners. In some cases, farms were destroyed without consent.
Many farmers sell their lands because of quick money, forgetting that cocoa land is a natural resource that generates income not just for today, but for future generations as well.
Not all farmers, however, are willing to surrender. Opinion Kofi Eje insists he will not give out his land despite repeated offers.
I will not sell my land to Galamseyers. Even if I have land I am not currently farming on, I will not sell it. I think about my future and I value it too much.
It is here no moment there. Maybe cocoa ni be an answer me was as a cry and you cocoa na was crying and yard them the Galamsey.
The municipal agricultural officer for Amansia West, Millicent Aka, describes the situation as deeply worrying. She explains that many cocoa farmers are giving out their lands due to poor motivation and low returns from cocoa farming.
Looking at it, a lot of people are into cocoa production, but they couldn't even erect a house. Everyone loves money. And when money is involved, if care is not taken, you compromise. But after giving out their lands to Galamseyers, they've been able to do that. And that is exactly. So I agree with them perfectly. The agric work is not motivating enough. Let me put it that way. They are not getting inputs. Because like I told you earlier on, the motivation that farmers get from the central government, from individual, from the district and that, they are not encouraging enough.
She also highlights the destruction of water bodies, which makes farming operations increasingly difficult in affected communities.
A letter that I saw from the plow from Emim to Lipa and Chermia, which I happened to plow, all the water bodies there. It's a not. We don't see the natural color. Water should be colorless, but this one, you see it to be cream or brown, that type. So that is one level of destruction. Then you come to, there is that land degradation, or deforestation, because almost all the trees, and that has been uprooted by the excavators and stuff. They've left some potholes, they don't cover the land, and that will gradually affect us in the near future.
Despite nationwide concerns, illegal mining remains active across the district. Excavators continue to operate in plain sight. According to the farmers, the government must intervene immediately, warning that failure to act could trigger a national cocoa crisis.
Most farmers have never seen the kind of money the Galamseyers offer them. This makes it very difficult to convince them otherwise, and many eventually give in and release their lands to these Galamseyers.
Wow, but that's who see
I may not be willing to sell my land now, but if these Galamseyers persist, I may be left with very few options to decide otherwise.
Governments will come in to motivate the farmers, and those who have the mind that they will give out their farms for the illegal mining. If the government put out something to boost, to help to keep the farmers inactive, I think they will stop what they have intended to do.
Those of us who have stood firm and refused all offers from Galamseyers are not motivated enough. On Farmers' Day, the government gives us boots and cutlasses, while the bigger rewards go to influential people, the same people who protect and empower the Galamseyers.
The crisis unfolding in Amancia West is a microcosm of a larger national predicament. As the illegal gold rush continues to consume Ghana's precious cocoa farms, the nation faces not only environmental catastrophe, but also a severe blow to its economic backbone, threatening the livelihoods of countless farmers and the very identity of Ghana's agricultural heritage.
Evidence of the destruction is what you see right behind me. Now, this is a farmland that has been consumed by illegal mining, and just some few meters away from this area which has been consumed is a cocoa farm. Now you can see that all this place which used to be a cocoa farm has been cleared off and turned into an illegal mining pit. The fear is that portion left might be invaded as well by these Galamseyers. Together we say no to illegal mining. For Joy News, my name is Anabwachi Dankwayadom, Kumasi.
Joining us on phone is convener for the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining, Engineer Kenneth Ashigbe. We're grateful for your time here, sir. What do you make of these reports we're hearing from the Ashanti region about some Galamseyers gradually ravaging, or should I say even ravaging, cocoa farms?
You know, this is our country. It's an interesting country. There's a law in place that deals with destroying commercial trees, and specifically cocoa trees. And so what it is that we are doing, it's illegal, it's criminal. You know, and it's not for the lack of the law. It's just about the fact that things that are hidden in plain sight, the DCs, MPs that should be enforcing the laws, they won't do it. And they will be sitting for the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources who sits in Accra for 9 months, who is coordinating globally to come and deal with it. So what's the MP in the particular community doing, or the DCs in this community doing? These are criminal. You know, they are criminal. So you find out that in situations, you take an example like Goldfields, for example, they, you know, as they are even mining, they are in the business of aggressively promoting cocoa production, providing seedlings, providing best agronomical practices for the cocoa farmers in their catchment areas of land. But you have the situation where these people who, you know, will not pay any duties, will not pay any taxes, will not do any reclamation, all then go about and destroying the very livelihoods of these communities. Cocoa farms that would have taken care of generations upon generations of people will be sold for pittance. No. And after, you know, when they ravage the land and they take the gold they want to take out of it, they create poverty, they create pits that then get, you know, become traps for the people in the community. So my question when these things come up is that what is the MC who is the president's representative? What he is also supposed to be the district or municipal mining committee and security committee chairperson. What are they doing about it? And the various local law enforcement agencies in the community, they know that these are illegal practices. What are they doing about it? Did you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Doc, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but did you hear anything I said?
I mean, I lost you for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm saying that, I don't know what bit where you lost me, but I'm just saying that, destruction of economic trees, specifically cocoa, is criminal. And so we have the laws on our statute books that makes these things criminal. And the question you want to ask is that the municipal chief executive of the Amancia area, or, the district chief executive, whatever it would be, who happens to be the DISEC or MUSEC chairperson, as well as the mining committee chairperson, what are they doing when the laws are being flagrantly abused? Are they waiting for the president in Accra or the minister for lands and natural resources who sits in Accra or NIMAS to come into their communities to come and flash these things out? What are they themselves doing to deal with this particular issues?
So Doc, what can we really do to enforce some compliance? Because these farmers warn that if this issue is not contained and contained properly, it may affect, international export of our cocoa. It really is alarming, isn't it?
Oh, it is dire already. Already we are suffering the brunt of this. You have situations where countries like Japan, for example, if your cocoa is going, the level of tests that you have to do before it gets there. Right. The EU have already insinuated the situation that we might be suffering some repercussions when they find heavy metals in the cocoas that we are exporting into their community. In the past, we've had a situation where Cocoa Board have not been able. There are some loan facilities they had gone for that they could not take them because they could not even get water, in some of these communities to water their crops. And now we are exacerbating by destroying hectares and hectares of cocoa land and then cutting the source of livelihood for these people. You go into some of these communities, cocoa has taken care of generation upon generation. You see most of the big buildings in those communities, they have come out of the issues of, this cocoa farms. And that's why I was saying that you take the example of Goldfield, for example. Goldfield are mining even not where the cocoa farms are, but they, because of the fact that they know there are cocoa farms in their areas, they have schemes in place that are actually helping cocoa farmers to replant, helping cocoa farmers with the right seedlings and, best agronomical practice. So we cannot have the situation where we have these illegal miners who do not pay any tax to government, who do not do any reclamation, going either forcibly buying or, colluding with some of these farmers to sell off lands that their heritage have given to them, for them to only be destroyed. And then after the first, they do the illegal mining, they will not even do a reclamation. They will leave pits that then become, sources of death, for the people in the community. So we need to be pushing our DCs and MCs. What is the MC or DC in the community? What is he doing about this? They are the president's representatives. We should also be asking, Dr. Randy Abbey, he and his team in the community, what are they also doing about the cocoa trees in these communities? And what do they also have to do to ensure that the laws that are supposed to preserve these economic trees are not being done?
We are wrapping up 2025, Doc. Governments, let's still stay a little bit more on government. They have consistently declared war on Galamsey. From where you sit, looking at the year generally, is this, war being won or lost?
Well, I think that definitely we need to recognize the fact that in terms of the signaling by His Excellency the President, there's an improvement of what it is that was inherited. And then this current Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has also been working exceedingly hard to be able to get some work done with the illegality. Operation 9 months has also been doing a lot of work. But you see that when we met with His Excellency the President, there were a lot of things that were outlined. The coalition, the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, we are putting together all the things that were said that were going to be done and what progress it is that we have seen. And so we definitely can see around the 9 month area that there's been some work. But even with 9 months, you notice that there was the plan to get 9 months permanent base that, that has not happened. Not sure the funding that 9 months yet has happened. The challenge with the law enforcement, the challenge the prosecutors we've not seen that before. When at that particular extent, there were some questions I asked the Attorney General. We're not sure about termites of prosecution, how far that's going. There was the work that he was doing and was supposed to have given reports back to the Attorney General. We have not seen any movement on that. The Professor report watching for all of those people who are not any better. If you look at 9 months, for example, the number of arrests that they have done, nothing. We have not seen anything, come up. So the issues around prosecution, the issues around physically exposed persons who are that there's very, very little that has happened as far as concerned. We have also commissioned some work on the stability of what, so we're also trying to look at the impact of forests and all of that. The initial report I have seen with the stability of water does not show that there's any improvement so far as that is concerned. It is the year the review has also shown us that the impudence of this organized criminal. You had a situation in which a colonel, who is heading 9 months with 8 military people, are attacked, by a community, and we're not too sure what has happened to those people who have been arrested out of that. You had a situation where the EPA also went in a place and we lost life, and so the records have been made. We still have some major work to do with this existential threat that stares us in the face, but there have been some positive. But to be able to become comprehensive about it, there was one, when we met with the president, one of the things we were asking was some, work to be done in terms of measuring the turbidity of water, trying to get the way the forest is going, and some of these factors, being able to look at them to ensure that, we're making some progress. So that is done. It is difficult to really tell how far we have gone with the fight against Galamsey, but we definitely have to confess that there's been some positive sides, especially the right signals from His Excellency the President and the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. We also have to be quick to point out that when the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources became the acting Minister for Environment, he's also been able to achieve a major thing that the former minister was not doing by revoking the LI 2042. That's also a very, very positive sign that we have seen. We are not too sure what has happened to the policy by the Interior Minister wanting to deport, foreigners who are involved in Galamsey. We don't seem to be hearing that as well. So I want to presume that after the meeting with the president, maybe there might be some positive signs that would have come out of that. But I am just urging you, the media, that it would be good for us to be able to do a bit of, investigative work and be able to actually compare what was promised at the meeting with the CSOs with actually what has happened. Because now, the current government would have done a whole year. So now the argument of we just came in would not be one of the things that we'll be saying. And one of the things going forward is I'll be encouraging His Excellency the President to be looking to resourcing Myanmar a lot more. There is a move by the Forestry Commission to also arm the forestry guards and to make them paramilitary so that they can create bases within the forest reserves that they can operate at. There's also the challenge with illegal mining around our borders, which has a lot of militants and these armed people who are involved in it. It's a major security challenge for us as a country. We need to also be looking into that, see how it is that we have to deal with that. I have also been engaging some of the lawyers and asking, what is it that we can do? What is it doesn't mean passing some laws. So that if you are a chief and you allow your land, to be used for this illegality, government takes the land away from you, and then we do the reclamation of the land, and then it is given off to the state.
I mean, Doc, you did
considering that.
You did mention that with NIMOS, the arrest NIMOS have made, we usually do not see the end of those arrests. Going into the year 2026, what would you be expecting them to do better? And also, you have made a number of suggestions, but of all these suggestions, which of them do you think are pressing and that government should take up, which would send, strong signals in this fight against Galamsey?
I think the elephant in the room is the fact that the firefighters, the people we have put in charge of fighting the Galamsey, are themselves the arsonists.
Okay.
They are the people setting fire to the house. So the big thing that has to be done, that His Excellency the President is the last man to be able to do that. And he has less than a year to be able to do that. It's to do with the politically exposed person. So the prosecution of those who have been put in charge, who themselves are involved in this, is the big thing that His Excellency the President should do. He needs to look around himself. He needs to look around his appointees. And that's a thing that happened about the MC or DCE who claims he's been fighting an illegal miner who has taken him to court, for which a contempt case has been brought against him, and is now a contempt convict, for example, has to be properly investigated. That particular MC or DCE, he's making some points that might mean that he might have a good case, but he needs to step aside. And the case thoroughly investigated. And if the person that he's dealing with, who he claims is a kingpin of Galamsey, that when his equipment are seized, is released, we can look into it and deal with it. Because that has made some abuse that might be pointing to people high in office, that might be complicit with the person that took him to court. But if also it is that the case that the judge made is the right one, then he, the MC himself, should also suffer the consequence for it. But that has to be investigated. His Excellency should not be caught into what the former president did with the Postumil MC. That several MCs and DCs around who are also caught in that. There are a lot of politically exposed persons who are involved in the Galamsey. So one of the big things that I would hope that I would see the president deal with going into the next year is being able to be more, the way he said a lot of the things. The thing he's not done is that we've not seen action to it. And we'll ask the Attorney General to also follow up with the directive given to Yoko. We need to see some action. If those people, the two who I mentioned, are innocent, let them be exonerated based on investigations that have happened. If not, they should be punished. And all politically exposed persons who are involved in it, we need to deal with them. And then there are also issues, like at Toronto, for example, there's an issue of an NDC, party person who is fighting against the community people who are trying to protect their water body. Situations like this, when they come up and the communities report, we'll be hoping that government will take this thing up and be able to support them in fighting against some of these situations. So that's one of the big things that we would want to see happen. And the issues of NIMOS. You see, again, Operation Vanguard, we went the same route. The then president himself was complaining why we had only about less than 10% prosecution in Operation NIMOS. So I would also want to remind His Excellency the President, his minister has set up NIMOS. NIMOS is doing a lot of work. There's a lot of arrests being done this week. Again, they've hit some communities, and some arrests have been made. The challenge we have is that what is happening to the prosecution? You remember the situation in Osino, where there was a gentleman that was arrested who they claim was a kingpin. I looked at him and he doesn't look like a kingpin. But they say he's a kingpin. He's been granted bail, for example, he's walking around for free. What is happening to situations like some of those? So what we need to do is that as the government pushes for the responsible mining to really take place, we, the large-scale miners, are also trying to see how we can support government's effort in that by coming up with a model scheme of, responsible mining, where we insulate the people in the communities who want to do artisanal and small-scale mining to be able to do one without the organized criminals being involved. As we do that, we need to be able to deal with these politically exposed persons, with the politicians, with people of influence and all of that, who themselves are engaged in the illegality and dealing with them. Another challenge that is also very critical is that beyond the mercury and the other heavy metals that are causing a lot of havoc, now we're beginning to see a lot of cyanidization being done by small-scale miners, without the necessary controls of the EPA and the Minerals Commission. We want to thank the EPA and the Minerals Commission. When some of the large-scale miners have brought this to their attention, they have quickly come to be able to deal with it. But it's a major national security risk. And you have our brothers from Burkina Faso coming in, and they are the people leading the cyanidation process. Mercury is dangerous and it's lethal, but cyanide in the hands of unexperienced people without the right protection will wipe communities away. So that's something that we're hoping that the government, working together with the EPA, the Minerals Commission, with the National Security, will start paying attention to the use of cyanide in a very uncontrolled manner.
Right, Doc. Thank you so much for engaging with us. You heard there Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe. He is the convener for Media Coalition Against Galamsey. You're still watching Joy News Desk with me, Noella Karen Yali. Let's take a quick breather. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to Joy News Desk with me, Noella Karen Yali. Now, Elegant Homes and General Construction has unveiled an ultra-modern sport complex at its Elegant Homes estate in Accra. The facility features a children's playground, a basketball court, a tennis court, and a fully equipped gym offering a range of recreational and fitness options for residents. Management says the project is designed to promote healthy living, foster community connections, and enhance the overall value of properties within the estate. The following report has more.
So General Construction has officially opened its multipurpose sports complex at the estate. With that, residents now have access to a playground, courts for basketball and tennis, and a modern gym for workouts and recreation. Chief Executive Officer Dorothy Kwashi highlighted the range of amenities the estate now offers, emphasizing the company's commitment to residents' quality of life.
Today marks a milestone in the history of Elegant Homes, having been able to come up with this edifice, a multi-purpose sports complex, in addition to our infrastructure. Where we are now currently is Elegant Court, our gated estate located at Katamanso of the Adenta Dodowa Road. The estate comprises of 3 paved road. We have solar street lights, we have 24-hour security, we have covered drains, and then we have one of the beautiful multi-purpose complex which we commissioned today. Please, if you are looking to buy a property, if you are looking for a serene environment, if you are looking for quality, look no further. Elegant Homes is your home of choice.
A long-time resident, Edusei Puku, who chaired the event, said the complex will encourage healthy living and strengthen community ties.
The sports complex, yes. I have always known, when they started the Elegant Home Design, I was one of the few people that really pushed them hard that you need a sports complex or a community center where you can have a tennis court, even if you can get a swimming pool, so that you prevent everybody from, let's say, getting their own tennis courts and other things, right? So we pushed very hard for it, and I think this is a step in the right direction, although it's not as big as we wanted it to be. But you do have a children's playground. All the children can come and have fun here. You have a multi-purpose ball court. You can play basketball or tennis or football or that. And
community ties. Residents welcomed the new facility, praising management for the initiative. Yvonne, who is a resident of Elegant Homes, shared her excitement about the sports complex.
2018. It's a wonderful place to live. The support, the staff, they're wonderful. The management. Come get a property here because you will not regret it. And now with this place, we can exercise. There's a beautiful gym. We can exercise. Our kids can come to play. It's a wonderful place. A serene environment, a secured environment.
Elegant Homes continues to invest in amenities that enhance lifestyle and community well-being, setting a standard for residential living in Accra. Angela Sentua Amuako's report. Read to you.
Let's bring you business next.
Many thanks for staying with us. Let's do some business stories. I am Michelle Ajakum. And now to our stories. Over 10,000 customers of Electroland Ghana Limited have been rewarded under the company's Achedie Kesier Christmas promotion. The company has concluded the final draw of the nationwide promotion at its head office showroom, where several winners received electronic appliances and household items. There's more in the following report.
The Achedie Kesier Christmas promotion of Electroland Ghana Limited has rewarded over 10,000 loyal customers nationwide. The climax event held on Monday, December 22, 2025, marked the end of weeks of customer engagement across the country. Several customers emerged winners through a supervised and transparent draw, taking home a range of electronic appliances and household products. Speaking to Joy Business, Head of Marketing and Media Relations, Adiza Ibrahim revealed that the Achedie Kesier promotion has come to stay and will run until 2029.
We are proud to say that the Achedie Kesier reward, our flagship customer loyalty scheme, has come to stay. And this is just the beginning. It started from Mankesim, where we went to reward 250 plus 1 NASCO Ultimate Rewarders. And we are here at head office in Accra. Of course, where it all started, the story of Electroland Ghana Limited started. And today, we have joyfully, evidently, transparently, and accountably rewarded the most person who entered into the reward several times. The rewards we have done is gone beyond 10,000. Before this one, more than 10,000, yes, and this more than 10,000.
She also acknowledged the Ghana Lottery Authority for its support and dedication to the successful execution of the promotion.
And let me also say, National Lottery Authority, by the Caritas platform, has really done well. They engineered us, they are the back, and they make sure that all the numbers that entered, if they win, there's transparency and there's accountability. So thank you very much.
Meanwhile, the overall winner, Shelley Boatin, expressed her excitement and encouraged customers to actively participate in future promotions.
Great, I feel blessed and it's overwhelming. Actually, I'm still not in my reality check yet. I'm trying to get there. So I'm grateful, Electroland. I'm super grateful to them. And I thank them so much for this opportunity. It was just a dream, but now it's a reality, and I'm super grateful for that.
Electroland Ghana Limited has assured customers of more exciting promotions as it continues to strengthen brand loyalty and expand its market presence.
Away from that, founder of the Perfect Compassion Initiative, Perfect Annette Agbema-Biese, has led a private sector-driven outreach in Dabenyin DA Basic School, where over 400 school children received free uniforms and medical screening, highlighting the growing role of non-state actors in supporting Ghana's education and health sectors.
The Dabenyin DA Basic School came alive as founder of the Perfect Compassion Initiative, Perfect Annette, in partnership with corporate and civil society actors, delivered school uniforms and health screening to pupils, parents, and teachers. She said the outreach targeted a farming and trading community where access to basic educational needs remains a challenge.
It's about impacting the lives of every child in Dabenyin DA Community School. So we came to donate over 400 school uniforms for every child in the school. We didn't want to leave any of them out, so we did. We provided the uniforms for the entire school population. We also collaborated with Jabi Foundation, and then we had health screening for the children, the parents, as well as the teachers as well. The role for national change and development cannot only rest on the shoulders of government. That is why we have private initiatives like what Perfect Compassion is doing to also bridge any gap or where the government has not been able to tackle.
One of the organizers, head of HR, admin, and corporate communications, Francis Nkrumah Boateng, says the initiative goes beyond charity, positioning private intervention as a strategic contributor to national development goals, particularly in underserved communities.
Supplying the uniforms and the educational materials is critical to their child's growth and development, and at Lease Afrique we believe in developing our future leaders. That's why we partnered with Perfect Compassion to put this together. I feel it's very important, it's very critical and central to advancing the cause of this country. It's important that various NGOs come in to support the government, because as we keep saying, the government cannot do it all, and the educational sector needs a lot of support. And I think causes like this are very worthy causes that each and every organization should find a way to support one way or the other.
And that'll be all for business. I am Michelle Lejekum. The small business news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Well,
now let's go back to our first story, and there's a debate over the Constitutional Review Committee's proposal to extend presidential terms from 4 to 5 years. Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh-led committee thinks that it's a good idea, but not everyone agrees. Former Ghana School of Law Director Kweku Ansa Asare believes 4 years is enough time for a president to get things done. Let's get more views on this development story, and joining me on Zoom is governance expert Bafo Ajimendia. We're grateful for your time, sir. Do you broadly support or oppose this proposal?
I do support it wholeheartedly. Look, somebody who had the opportunity to be in that position for 8 years, and here I'm referring to former President, his last address to the state before he left office, suggested and recommended highly this particular provision. And even beyond him, those who observe governance, you know that you are spending your first year adjusting, making your appointments, and new appointees adjusting to the new reality that they have. Second year, you are working on your agenda as you begin to consolidate. Then third year comes, and then your mind is shifted already to the next election. So truly, of course, 4 years is the base in most democracies, but there are many others who have moved away from the 4 years. In fact, our own neighbors here, Liberia, 6 years. I can go and cite many other countries. Of course, many still retain the 4. But from experience, what we have observed, I think it's important that we shift the 4 year to the 5 year term for our presidents.
But what would you then say to the school of thought that suggests that if a government cannot really do enough in 4 years, what's the value of an extra year?
The value of the extra year, let me start a few. Take the economic aspects. Mm-hmm. If you do 5 years, it means in 20 years you have had 4 elections. Currently, in 20 years, we have how many? 5 elections. Mm-hmm. The cost of one election is about $600 million, if not more. The cost alone. The tension that elections create in our country, put value on it, and judge for yourself. People sitting on tenterhooks and being pushed to the edge. People clamoring for prayers and all because of the fear of the possibility of some kind of a catastrophe. I don't know. That's another thing you have to consider. That's intangible, so perhaps we don't feel it. Then, of course, on a lighter note, we spare ourselves the rituals of prophets and men of God, so to speak, who comes with all kinds of funny things to confuse us as Democrats, those who are preparing to vote. So there are some tangibles and some intangible values by doing that. But more importantly, though, is the fact that it gives a government the time. In fact, he said, I don't know which government can really complete. No government can complete its agenda in 4 or 5 years, or even 10 years. That's why continuity in governance have been.
But Mr. Agyemang, is our problem as a country really about time or about the discipline to govern and govern right?
Two together. You need to have a disciplined leadership, a leadership with integrity, a leadership that respects the people, and on that side. You need the leadership. And that good leadership also needs time to build and pursue the agenda that they have. Of course, during the campaign, we know that politicians do articulate their plans, their vision, and all. Let me give you a good example. I personally believe that the success of President Mahama so far in his first year, in this second term that he has, is because of the experience he's gained from the first time he became president. It was much easier for him to appoint people. It was much easier for his appointees, most of them, to adjust to the situation. And you can see the clarity with which Mahama is pursuing his agenda. It's all because of the previous experience, at least according to my own observation.
Thank you.
So if you say that 4 years is more than enough for any government to do what he has to do, that is completely false.
Thank you so much. We would have loved to engage you further on this developing, story, but time is not our best friend. And so thank you so much for engaging with us. We've been engaging governance expert, Mr. Agyemang there. But that's it for Joy News Desk. And pardon me, Professor Agyemang. But we've been going at it right here on Joy News Desk. For more stories, log on to myjoyonline.com. And of course, do enjoy the rest of our program. And I'm Noella Kareniali.